this is a look at Windows, the very first one. This is actually Windows 1.01. If you look through my assembly tutorials, how we coded a 16-bit image file and ran it in VirtualBox, I'm doing the exact same thing. The very first Windows was 16-bit, and I'm running it in VirtualBox. And I'll put that image file in the description if you want to download it and emulate it yourself. Now, you may see this video jump a lot, and it's because, one, this is running slow, and two, it crashes all the time, so I'm going to have to edit out the crashes. But if this didn't crash a lot, it actually wouldn't be a bad operating system at all. It's actually pretty good. So we're going to just go through all the executable files. So the first one's calculator. This only works half the time, so let's check if it works. 9 times 9 equals 81. So it worked this time. Let's divide that by 0. Error. So this calculator works fine. Edit. What's cool about this Windows is it does have a taskbar, and see that right there? That's the home screen I was on, the MS-DOS executive that listed all my files. So see, I can drag the calculator to the bottom on the taskbar. Let's do that again. Let's line my cursor up again. So drag this onto the, see, I can drag that onto the taskbar, and then grab this and drag it back up, and it goes back to the home page without closing out calculator. Now let's open up calendar. And as you can see, I can do the same thing with calendar. What's cool about this is I can actually have more than one things up. I can drag, I can do this, and it's cool because you can have more than one task. I mean, you can do that on Windows already, but you know, some old operating systems only allow you to have one task loaded at a time. But here, this is calendar. As you can see, we can type things in on the dates, and actually has that date right. It's Sunday, April 15th, 2012. Let's see, we can just click that and close things out. Don't want to save. Let's go ahead and close out calculator. Now let's go to the next one. This one's actually pretty interesting. I've never seen this before. Card file. As you can see, it's a note card, and we can add a card. Typing with one hand, so it's kind of hard. I meant to type Bob, but Bond's okay. And as you can see, it's a note card application, and you can click the other note card and it comes to the front. But I've never seen anything like this on Windows, so it's actually pretty cool. Before, you know, and you make note cards. Oh, we don't need to save that. Let's close it. Now let's open clipboard. So the clipboard's basically what you copy. If you're someone who uses Windows a lot, you might know that term. Let's go to calculator. Let's type in 8 and just click copy. Make sure it copied. Now let's close. Now when you open up clipboard, as you can see, it says 8. Because whatever you, and it says text, I guess that's the data type. You know, because if you copied an image, it would probably say image. Let's look at clock. What's surprising is this time's actually right. It is actually 1:20 right now. So this is a super cheap looking clock, but it's actually right. It's the ugliest clock I've ever seen, but it works. Now let's open up command.com. This is like the command.com on all Windows computers, like, you know, command prompt, but obviously it doesn't have as much commands, doesn't do as much. But one thing all that MS-DOS has always done is echo hi. As you can see, it kindly says hi back. Now if I write exit, go up here, I can close that out. So let's go on to the next one, control. Control is basically settings. Here I can adjust time, I can adjust cursor blink speed, double click speed, date, but all that's already good for me. Let's close this out. Now, the next one is MS-DOS, MS-DOS-D. MS-DOS is what I'm running right now, the MS-DOS executive up here. That is what lists all the files. MS-DOS-D, you know, those don't do anything when you launch them, because they're already launched. So let's open up Notepad. As you can see, it's your regular Notepad. Remember, I'm typing with one hand. Hi. Assemblers. Because I want to doubt if a lot of you watch this subscribe because my assembly tutorials. So, hi assemblers. Let me line up my cursor again. There we go. Now let's close this out. As you can see, it's... Whoops, I dragged it to the bottom. Hate this cursor. Let's drag it back up. As you can see, let's go through this real quick. File, new, open, save as, print, blah blah blah. Undo, cut, paste, clear. I can insert the date and time. Word wrap, find, next. Let's do a find. Let's find AS. Okay. Cannot find AS. That sucks. No, let's not start a new one. Sometimes if you push those buttons a lot, it will cause it to crash. So you don't want to interact with the applications too much. So let's go into Paint. Paint tends to crash all the time. Let's see if it will not crash. Box. Come on, don't crash. Erase. Censor text. Yep. Okay, that's enough with Paint. I really don't want this to crash. But as you can see, palette. It's really just a simple black paint program. Main mode, it works. You can save images, all that. But I'm surprised this hasn't crashed yet. Maybe if we're lucky, you can get through this whole video without it crashing. Let's next go to Reverse C. Honestly, don't know what this is. Oh, this is... I think I might recognize this game. Oh, I know this game. What you gotta do, you gotta play... I'm red. I gotta place my color on the other side of theirs, and it gives me their color. And I'm not sure... Apparently we didn't make it through. It crashed again playing that game. I don't know what... if Reversi is the name of the game. Never heard of it. You can look it up. But it's a pretty fun game if it didn't crash all the time. Let's figure out what Spooler is. Is it loading? Spooler. Oh, this tells me stuff about my computer. HP LaserJet active. I'm not exactly sure what this is. I think this might kind of be like a task manager or some sorts. But let's go on terminal. Terminal, I can't type anything. Control, connect, print. This might have to do with printing and stuff. Connecting to other things, but like, I'm not going to bother with it. Let's close it out. Let me see if there's anything else. The last thing to open is Write. Write is kind of like WordPad. If you look on your in System 32, you should see a write.exe on all Windows computers, and that's basically WordPad. So, character, paragraph, I can adjust all this stuff. Header, footer. It's basically an ancient version of WordPad. Obviously, you won't want to use this to write your essays. See if I can indent. Oh, it can actually double space and indent. First line, 1 inch. Hold up. See if this indents. Yep, it indents, except 1 inch is kind of a lot to indent a paper. Paragraph, double space. That's pretty cool. You could write an essay on this. Just wouldn't recommend it. Let me see. Is there anything else we can open? We can't open font files. We'll just get an error. And it crashed again. So let's go through more stuff this has. Right here, auto execute.bat. What does that do? Hopefully it doesn't seem to do anything. Let's open do this.txt. Do shop for new suit. Phone dentist. Take. I don't know what this is. I think this is just an example text file. And what is this stuff? Call piano tuner. Talk to Fred. Buy present. This is kind of funny. Write grandma. Read War and Peace. See, see if it goes any lower than this. This is pretty funny. Phone dentist. Make plane reservations. Contact realtor. Mow lawn. This is kind of funny. It's kind of funny how write grandma's only priority C, but then schedule vacation is priority A. It's kind of messed up. It's pretty funny though. Let's close that out. Let me see, is there any... That black screen you saw just for a second, was it crashing again? So let's see if there's anything else we can do. Here are some documents. Here's a practice document. As you can see, the documents actually didn't look that bad. There's a header and everything. So this isn't like an ancient document. Wonder what that would look like in Word today. Should probably try and open it later. See if there's any other README. The following information should be noted for this release of Microsoft Windows. Also consult your Windows user's guide. Blah 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 blah. Printing without the spooler. Yeah, spoolers for like printing and stuff. It is possible to print blah blah blah. Don't care about that. Running .bat files from Windows. Run .batch file. You should create a pif file for this batch file. The pif file should have the same pif options set as the application. Blah blah blah. Should try running a batch file. Running basic. It's pretty cool. It's a whole readme. Maybe I'll put a download for the readme in the description if I could get this stuff out of the image file. Let me see. Is there anything else? I'm going to try to write a bat file real quick. I don't know if it'll actually let me load it. It might not even appear anywhere, but let's see what would happen. Echo hi. Save as. Test.bat. Close. Close. Okay. abc.txt. What is that? This is the content. It crashed yet again, and as you can see, my test.bat file, I found it and it worked. And so I just created a working bat file on Windows 1.01. I feel so proud. As you can see, it says hi. I don't really know what batch can do in this version of Windows. Let me see if debug would work. That would be pretty cool. Run. Yeah, I highly doubt this thing has debug. Let's try open up terminal. Oh, it wasn't terminal and it gotta load up. Let's close that. What was it? Think it was command.com. Let me see. Yep, it doesn't have debug. Debug was probably introduced on a later version of Windows. I know Windows 95 has it because I've tried it before, and I know Windows Me has it. Windows ME, because I used to own a Windows ME. So that's a basic look at um the very first Windows. As you can see, Windows has come a long way. This is not that good and it crashes all the time, but like I said, Windows has come a long way from Windows 1.01 to Windows 8. A lot of changes, obviously. So much better. This is only 16-bit, but this is actually pretty cool. I'll put the image file in the description so you can try it if you want. And I'll also see if I could get some of these files out of here and also put downloads in the description, such as Ancient Notepad Paint, the really old WordPad. I'll definitely try and put card file there so you can try a card file. That would be cool. But this is the very first Windows. Just look, I actually don't think it's that bad. I really think if it didn't crash, should actually be something pretty cool. Obviously, I said it crashes a lot, but I really like how you can switch between tasks, and I'm quite sure the code name for this was originally Interface Manager before they named it Windows. So, and it does that, it lets you have an interface you can manage. It works really well, and it does show that even since Windows started, it's been pretty good. This isn't MS-DOS before, and if you think that, this isn't MS-DOS, it's Windows. MS-DOS was right before Windows, and then they named it Windows after they did all this stuff with it and made it an interface rather than a terminal. So I'm going to see if I can shut this thing down. Let me see, close. Let me end my Windows session. See if it does any fancy shutdown screen. And no, it's not doing any fancy shutdown screen. Basically, it just turns black and creates a terminal you can use, and but that's it. So it doesn't shut down. No fancy shutdown screen. But that's basically just what I wanted to show.